Savage Messiah, How Dr. Jordan Peterson is Saving Western Civilization by Jim Prusa is a book that explores the life and work of Dr. Jordan Peterson, a controversial Canadian psychologist and professor who has become a lightning rod for debates about free speech, political correctness, gender identity, and cultural values. The book is divided into 3 parts: The Rebel Professor, The Culture Warrior, and The Mythic Hero. Part 1, The Rebel Professor. In this section, Prusa provides biographical information about Peterson, tracing his upbringing in rural Canada, his academic career, and his rise to fame as a public intellectual. Prusa describes Peterson's intellectual influences, including Carl Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche, and Alexander Solzhenitsyn, and his early research on personality and creativity. Prusa also details Peterson's battles with political correctness and censorship, including his opposition to Bill C-16, a Canadian law that added gender identity and expression to the list of prohibited grounds of discrimination. Key takeaways: Peterson's upbringing in rural Canada and his academic background influenced his views on individualism, responsibility, and the importance of free speech. Peterson's early research on personality and creativity laid the foundation for his later work on psychology, mythology, and culture. Peterson's opposition to political correctness and censorship is rooted in his belief in the importance of open dialogue, intellectual diversity, and individual autonomy. Part 2, The Culture Warrior. In this section, Prusa examines Peterson's role as a cultural critic and public intellectual. Prusa discusses Peterson's views on topics such as identity politics, Marxism, postmodernism, and the crisis of masculinity. Prusa also explores Peterson's controversial views on gender and sexuality, including his opposition to compelled speech and his rejection of gender-neutral pronouns. Key takeaways: Peterson's cultural criticism is based on his belief in the importance of individualism, personal responsibility, and traditional values. Peterson's opposition to identity politics and postmodernism is rooted in his belief that these ideologies undermine individual autonomy and objective truth. Peterson's views on gender and sexuality are controversial, but he argues that his opposition to compelled speech and gender-neutral pronouns is based on his commitment to free speech and scientific inquiry. Part 3, The Mythic Hero. In this section, Prusa explores Peterson's fascination with mythology, religion, and the concept of the hero. Prusa discusses Peterson's interpretation of biblical stories, his interest in archetypes and symbolism, and his belief in the transformative power of myth. Prusa also examines Peterson's personal struggles with depression, addiction, and illness, and his use of these experiences as a source of wisdom and inspiration. Key takeaways: Peterson's interest in mythology and religion is based on his belief that these stories provide insights into human nature, morality, and the meaning of life. Peterson's interpretation of biblical stories emphasizes the themes of personal responsibility, sacrifice, and redemption. Peterson's personal struggles with depression and addiction have informed his views on mental health, personal growth, and the importance of meaning and purpose in life. Overall, Savage Messiah provides a detailed and nuanced portrait of Jordan Peterson, highlighting his contributions to psychology, culture, and society. Prusa's book is an engaging and informative read that will appeal to anyone interested in the intersection of psychology, philosophy, and politics. Key takeaways: Jordan Peterson is a controversial but influential public intellectual who has made significant contributions to the fields of psychology, culture, and society. Peterson's views on individualism, responsibility, and the importance of free speech are shaped by his upbringing and academic background. Peterson's cultural criticism is based on his rejection of identity politics, Marxism, and postmodernism, and his belief in traditional values and objective truth. Peterson's interpretation of mythology and religion emphasizes the themes of personal responsibility, sacrifice, and redemption, and his personal struggles with depression and addiction have informed his views on mental health and personal growth.